You need to go and start your own thing. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not even in the next 5 years, but you have to understand that nobody in any corner office, no one on any C-suite got promoted there from internship to mid-level to manager. That's just not how it works, even though we're all taught that that is how it works.
Yes, there is some truth to this. Have you ever wondered how individuals transition to the high seat of CEO level? Or sometimes how people transition to C-suite levels? There are three main ways of which people do this. Either they found a startup, get acquired, and move straight to CEO level, or they strategically job hop, move straight away to another organization into a C-suite level or CEO, or sometimes spending decades in a single organization and growing through the ranks to a CEO level. Today, we are going to dive into all these three sections, look at specific examples of people and how they transitioned through one of these pathways to a CEO or C-suite level. Let's get right into it. Look at the statistics. Approximately 72% of new CEOs in publicly traded companies are internal promotions. Basically, they are already in the organization, we just promote them straight away to CEOs. In contrast, over 75% of CEOs in private equity-backed firms are external hires. Okay, 67% of this percentage are straight out external hires. So they move straight from wherever they are, straight away to CEO levels. Now let's look at the founders. Less than 25% of founders retain the CEO role by the time their company goes public. So yeah, people put in the risk, the resources, they start an organization or a business. The organization grows through, eventually becomes a public company, but then less than 25% of them retains the CEO role. We are going to go into specific details for each one of these. Founders often embark on a journey that is filled by some sort of passion, some sort of drive, risk appetite, and the knowledge and vision to where they actually want to get to. Let's look at a few of them. So the first person we are going to look at is Matt Law. So he founded Jet.com in 2014, which was then acquired by Walmart in 2016. After the acquisition, he served as the president and CEO of Walmart US e-commerce for approximately 4.5 years. So this is more of the acquisition route. So he founded an organization, it got acquired. Within 2 years, it was acquired by Walmart and he became a CEO. So imagine staying in an organization for 2 years. It's basically impossible for you to become a CEO, but then through the acquisition route, he was able to transition to a CEO level within 2 years. Let's look at the next person, Andy Dunn. So he co-founded Bonobos in 2007, which was then acquired by Walmart in 2017. Right there, and then after the acquisition, he became a senior vice president of digital consumer brands, moving right into a C-suite level and serving there for about 2 years. So when I look at Andy Dunn, he took about 10 years to transition from a founder to a C-suite level in a big organization like Walmart. Let's look at the final person, Mary Ivanov. He founded Metrillo in 2014, which was acquired by Sending Blue in 2021. That's more of 7 years. And then continued to serve as a CEO under the new ownership. So yeah, Mary Ivanov, that was more of like a journey of 7 years. So 3 people we looked at. One was 2 years, another was 10 years, and another was 7 years. Let's compare this to other people who transitioned through the ranks. the loyal employee. So this is more of people who stayed with a single organization, probably from entry level, grew through the ranks, and became CEO or C-suite levels. We are going to look at 3 examples also. Doug McMillan. So he started Walmart unloading trucks. So he started at the very bottom of the food chain. That was in 1984, and then he became a CEO in 2014. That was more of 30 years. So he started very low, just helping the truck drivers unload and offload trucks, and then eventually became a CEO in 2014. That's more of like a duration of 30 years. Let's look at the next person, Mary Barra. Mary Barra began her career at General Motors as a co-op in 1980, and then eventually became the CEO in 2014. That's more of 33 years of staying loyal to the single organization. The next person is Elliot Hill. So Elliot joined Nike as an intern in 1988 and became a CEO in 2024. That was after 36 years. So these 3 people, one person was 30, another was 33, another was 36 years. Not everybody would have more of the patience and the loyalty to stay with a single organization from start to finish. Now, when we compare the founders to more of those who stayed loyal, that's more than 3 times duration to become a CEO. We saw 2 years, 7 years, and 10 years, and here we are seeing 30 years, 33 years, and 36 years. Let's look at the final group of people. That's the strategic job hoppers. Now everybody in their bed to make more money is hopping between. You don't stay loyal to an organization. The organization doesn't care about how loyal you've been with them, among other convincing statements. So let's look at people who job hopped and where they eventually landed and how long it took them. So strategic career moves, can accelerate your journey to a C-suite level. We are going to look at 3 people, and I'm going to break them down, where they started, how they strategically job hopped, and how they eventually ended up at CEO or C-suite level. The first person we are going to look at is Steven Elop. So he held various leadership roles at companies like Macromedia and Adobe Systems. He joined Juniper Networks as the Chief Operating Officer in 2007. And then let's look at how he strategically continued to job hop. Elop transitioned to Microsoft, where he led business division. Now it also didn't end there. Imagine being in Microsoft and leading a business division. It didn't end there. He strategically transitioned once again. Let's see. So after being with Microsoft, he eventually got appointed as the CEO of Nokia in 2018. So look at the trend from Juniper as a Chief Operating Officer, came to Microsoft as a leader of a business division, and eventually moved to the CEO of Nokia. This was a strategic movement to the CEO level. Not everybody more of has the business drive or even have the quality to job hop in such a strategic way. But Steven Elop was able to do that. Let's look at the next person. Oscar Munoz. So Oscar Munoz also held financial position at PepsiCo and transitioned to a different role. He strategically transitioned to CSX as the CFO, which is the Chief Financial Officer, already at the C-suite level, but then he got promoted to become a COO, which is the Chief Operations Officer in charge of all the operations of CSX, and then finally became the president of CFX. So his strategic move from PepsiCo, Coca-Cola to CSX helped him to transition directly to CEO level in a short span as compared to somebody who had stayed loyal for multiple decades in a single organization.
Are you single or in a relationship?
I'm not gonna answer that one.
Now, he didn't end there. Imagine transitioning from a CFO to CEO to president. He eventually moved to United Airlines in 2015 as the CEO. And that is how Oscar Munoz transitioned strategically, job hopping to a CEO level. It's possible. You can also do it.
You can do it! You can do it! You can do it! You can do it!
Let's look at one more person, Kevin Mayer. Kevin Mayer held strategic positions as Walt Disney and then eventually becoming the chairman of the direct-to-consumer and international within Walt Disney. Now, being a chairman in Walt Disney is already an elevated level. But hey, Kevin Mayer was still not satisfied. He was like, no, I need to make more. I need to achieve more. I need to go higher. Let's see how he transitioned. So he transitioned to TikTok in May of 2020 and became the CEO. That was not the only key takeaway for his transition. He also became the COO of the parent company of TikTok, which is ByteDance. So using Kevin Mayer as an example, he strategically job hopped to become a CEO of an international organization and a COO of a big parent company like ByteDance. Now, these are the ways of which one can become a CEO. So if you're an individual who have a passion to become a CEO one day, there are three main ways of which you can achieve this. You can either go through the grind and the risk of starting your own business, possibly growing it to a multi-billion-dollar company or getting acquired, or you can stay loyal to a single organization for decades, going through various levels from entry level to a CCO to a CEO level, or you can strategically job hop. It all depends on your passion, your personality, your knowledge, your understanding, your risk appetite, because all these things come together to play a major role into where you can eventually end up.